to watch from start to finish. They're not just competing against each other, but against every team in the nation.
Alabama is still Alabama.
They've got some great tradition here. We're going to get that thing back to the top of the SEC. We're going to work hard to do it for you every day. We're going to give you a product you guys like to watch on the floor and what you want to see, and we're going to fill the stands up with people that are excited to watch Alabama basketball.
Play the song for the champions of the Southeastern Conference.
You're going to look your teammates in the eye. You're going to promise them you're going to give everything you got, and you're going to be the most unselfish dude we got. Everybody in here has had big moments in big games this year.
Enjoy it, folks. Alabama champions again.
We're going to do this the way we've always done it, which is blue collar. So everybody got me, that's who we've been all year. And remember why we do what we do. Coach pushes you so hard, so we get here.
Because I'm looking around, I'm looking at a bunch of dudes that put in a lot of work and that love each other, right? A lot of work. We've been yelled at, we watch a ton of film. We're in the gym every day, right? We've had ups, we've had downs, we've had the highs, we've had the lows. This is a special group. This is a special group. Play that way for 40 minutes. 40 minutes. And if it happens to go to overtime, we're winning every second of that too.
The University of Alabama's really special.
It hasn't taken long. Nate Oates was introduced as the Alabama men's basketball coach in 2019, and in just his fourth season, the Tide has won the Southeastern Conference regular season and tournament titles twice, made it to the NCAA tournament for the third consecutive year, and we're on the verge of a couple of wins this weekend, making the school's first ever Final Four appearance.
That's right. With the #1 overall seed, the Crimson Tide are the favorites to win it all, Roger, but the Tide still has to win 4 more games to claim the school's first ever men's basketball national championship. But as Coach Oates was said in the past, we are a championship school, right? And how fitting would it be to cap off the best season in Alabama basketball history with a national championship?
Roll Tide to that, and roll Tide to everybody. Welcome to the Crimson Tide Production Studio inside Bryant-Denny Stadium for another edition of Tide TV This Week. I'm Roger Hoover, joined by my co-host Kenzie Hughes. Roll Tide, this is a really special time of the year. What could be the most special basketball season we've ever seen?
That it could be, but due to some NCAA regulations, we can't show any highlights this week, but that's not going to stop us from talking basketball, baby.
Yeah, no chance of that, Kenzie. Alabama didn't have to go too far for the first 2 rounds, playing those at Legacy Arena in Birmingham. The #1 overall seed Crimson Tide took on 16th seeded Texas A&M Corpus Christi in the first round.
The Crimson Tide defeated the Islanders 96-75. The Tide has 5 scoring double figures, led by Nick Pringle, who had an incredible performance with his second double-double of the season. Pringle finished with 19 points and 15 rebounds. Mark Sears scored 15, while Javon Quinterly added 13.
With that win, #1 Alabama faced #8 seed Maryland. The Tide led by just 5 at the half, 28-23, but took control of the game in the second half, as the Tide won by 22, 73-51. Javon Quinterly led all scorers with 22 points. After being held scoreless in the opening round, Brandon Miller finished with 19 points and 7 rebounds, while Charles Bediako finished with a double-double, 10 points and 10 rebounds.
Guys a lot of credit for, I just told them, like, we may not make shots, but we've constructed a team. We got a style of play that even when we don't make shots, our defense is good enough, and we get to the old boards, we just can't turn it over. Second half, we only had 3 turnovers, getting to the old boards, and eventually we were able to make some shots and break the game opener in the second half. Charles, I think it's his 5th double-double of the year. It was big. If we could get him to make some free throws, it'd be even better, but I thought he was outstanding on the glass and on defense, and it was a great game. We're looking forward to playing San Diego State up in Louisville.
And he's already won the SEC Freshman and Player of the Year awards, and now the national awards are starting to come in. You know who we're talking about. Brandon Miller was named the Wayman Tisdale Award winner. The award recognizes the top freshman in Division I basketball. So huge congratulations to Brandon and the Crimson Tide. Alabama advanced to the Sweet 16 for the 9th time in program history.
The Tide now faces 5th seed San Diego State in Louisville. With the win against the Aztecs, the Crimson Tide will advance to the Elite 8 for just the 2nd time in program history.
Hey, hopefully we'll be talking about the Tide's first ever Final Four appearance in next week's episode, Roger. The Tide did win a couple of national titles this past week. We'll have those details coming up next.
Tide TV This Week is presented by the University of Alabama, where legends are made. Ford, For great offers on F-150, see your local Ford dealer. Proud sponsor of the Crimson Tide.
How about some noise at the Rhodes House? Sliding in around the tag is Dowling.
Ashley Prangy. And Alabama takes the lead. That's well hit to center. And Montana Fouts got her.
Jenna Johnson. Perfectly executed.
She's looking for more. That's gone. Alabama answers right back to grab the lead.
Swing and a miss, strike three, and that is your ball. Swing, miss, ball game.
Are you kidding me? Here comes the Jarvis. Alabama wins.
Hello, people. Welcome back to TideTV this week. Just like the men, the Alabama women's basketball team made it to the NCAA tournament, and it was their second appearance in 3 years.
Christy Curry's squad was a 10 seed as they faced number 7 Baylor in Storrs, Connecticut for the first time in program history.
And the Tide started out hot. Jumping out to a 12-0 lead, Brittany Davis was on fire, scoring 10 of the Tide's first 12 points. Bama dominated the first 10 minutes of play, outscoring the Bears by 18, as Alabama led 22-4 after the opening period. Baylor would slowly start chipping away at the Tide's lead throughout the game, with Bama up by just 2 with less than 2 minutes to go in the third. Brittany Davis drained the shot from beyond the arc to give Alabama a 5-point lead, headed into the final 10 minutes of play, 59-54.
In that fourth period, Aaliyah Nye hit the first shot of the quarter. This one, a three-pointer, put the Crimson Tide back up by 8. Alabama led by 3 with 53 seconds left, but a couple of turnovers by the Crimson Tide and Baylor's free throw shooting down the stretch, knocking down 7 of the final 8 in those final 53 seconds would give Baylor the win. Despite leading by as many as 18 in the game, Alabama couldn't hang on as Baylor moved on to the round of 32 with a 78-74 win.
Proud of, the kids in that locker room for the season that they've had. Obviously we're visibly upset. Anytime that, you have a group of kids that have poured their heart and soul into the program, 3 straight postseasons. For a group of kids that came to Alabama to turn the program around and put it on a trajectory that's really special. And the legacy that they will leave is that they left it a whole lot better than they found it.
Brittany Davis tied the school NCAA tournament scoring record with a game-high 33 points in the final game of her Alabama career.
That she did, and Alabama finished the season 20-11 in what was one of the best seasons in program history.
Also, the Alabama women's swimming and diving team just wrapped up their season as well at the NCAA championships this past week in Knoxville.
The Crimson Tide had 11 swimmers competing at the national championships, and Kinsey McMahon closed out her collegiate career in grand fashion as she captured national championships in the final 2 races for the Crimson Tide. McMahon won Alabama swimming and diving's first swimming national title since 1983, when she broke her own school record twice in one day in the 500 freestyle.
Then on the final day of competition, McMahon finished nearly 3 seconds ahead of any other swimmer as she took first place in the 1,650 freestyle race. McMahon is the first member of the Alabama swimming and diving program to win multiple NCAA titles. As a team, the Crimson Tide finished 14th overall. The Alabama men's and swimming and diving team is also competing in the NCAA championships this week in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
And it's going to be chilly up there like it was for us, but don't go anywhere. We'll have more Tide TV this week coming up next.
Tide TV This Week is presented by the University of Alabama, where legends are made. Ford, for great offers on F-150, see your local Ford dealer. Proud sponsor of the Crimson Tide.
Swing and a miss, strike 3, and that is your ball. Swing, miss, ball game.
Hammeter puts it into play.
Are you kidding me? Struck him out looking with a fastball.
Spectacular.
In the dirt. Here comes Kid Jarvis. Alabama wins.
Yay, Alabama. Drawing 'em Tide.
Every Bama fan's behind you.
Hit your stride.
The Alabama brand is built on tradition,
legacy,
and excellence.
SEC championships,
National championships,
All-American,
Heisman's,
and success at the next level.
decades of unforgettable plays
in championship moments.
As part of their time at the University of Alabama,
our student athletes now have the opportunity to use their name,
image, and likeness to enhance their experience.
Wearing the Alabama name on the front of the jersey means I'm a part of something bigger.
But the name on the back of the jersey gives me the power to invest in myself and my future.
My name,
my image,
my likeness.
We're excited to announce Yay Alabama
as the official University of Alabama NIL entity.
Contribute to Yay Alabama today by visiting
yay-alabama.com.
Welcome back to Tide TV This Week. I'm Kinsey Hughes, along with my best friend Roger Hoover. And Roger, we've been talking about the postseason all show, so let's keep it going with Alabama gymnastics.
You got it, best friend. The Gym Tide took part in the SEC Championships this past weekend in Duluth, Georgia. Top 4 teams competed in the evening session. Joining the 10th-ranked Crimson Tide in that evening session was 3rd-ranked Florida, number 6 LSU, and 8th-ranked Kentucky.
Alabama earned 49.375 on balance beam to start off the meet, led by a 9.95 from Luisa Blanco. The Crimson Tide then posted its highest rotation score of the night on the floor exercise of 49.55, with Lily Hudson leading the way with a 9.95 to move into 2nd place behind the top-seeded Florida Gators at the halfway point.
Crimson Tide maintained 2nd place with a 49.525 in the vault, tying their best event of the year on the vault. Gabby Gladio tied for the SEC title on vault with a 9.95 before closing out the night with a 49.4 on the uneven bars. Alabama closed out the SEC championships on the uneven bars with a 49.4 with 4 consecutive scores of 9.9 from Jordan Paradise, Maddie Walagora, Cam Machado, and Luisa Blanco.
Gladio tied for the SEC title on vault, and Luisa Blanco finished 2nd in the all-around with a 39.675, posting scores of 9.9 or higher on all 4 events. Despite the strong performance by the Tide, though, Bama finished just behind number 1 seed Florida for the championship. Florida took home the title with a score of 198.425, while Alabama finished with 2nd with a score of 197.925.
And after that 2nd place finish at the SEC Championships, Ashley Johnston's squad found out where they will continue their postseason competition. The now 8th-ranked Crimson Tide will compete in the Norman, Oklahoma Regional.
Alabama is the number 2 seed, with the Oklahoma Sooners getting the number 1 seed. Alabama will compete in the first semifinal session against 9th-ranked Kentucky, Illinois, and Iowa. The top 2 teams from this session will advance to the NCAA Regionals. The semifinals will take place on March 29th, with the regionals taking place on April 1st.
The Alabama football team returned to the practice field on Monday as Coach Saban and the Crimson Tide began spring practice.
It was the first of 16 for the Tide during spring practice. It was also the first practice for new offensive coordinator Tommy Rees, who joined the Tide from Notre Dame. It also marked the return of Kevin Steele, who returns for his 3rd stint with the Crimson Tide. This time, Steele will serve as the defensive coordinator. Coach Saban will also be looking for a new starting quarterback, with Bryce Young declaring for the NFL draft. And on the defensive side, the Tide is looking for some leadership to develop on that side of the ball, with Will Anderson Jr. also entering the draft.
Opportunity, everybody has an opportunity. Everybody has an opportunity to compete for a position. You guys love depth charts. We don't really have a depth chart right now, so and we want to give everybody reps and everybody a chance to show what they can do and see how each and every individual might be able to contribute to the team, next year.
Practice of the spring will take place inside Bryant-Denny Stadium on Saturday, April 22nd for the Crimson Tide's annual Golden Flake A-Day game. Kickoff is scheduled for 2 o'clock.
Crimson Tide also hosted their annual Pro Day on Thursday.
15 players from this past year's team showcased their skills for NFL scouts. Highlighting those in attendance were projected top 5 picks in quarterback Bryce Young and linebacker Will Anderson Jr. Defensive back Brian Branch and running back Jahmyr Gibbs are also potential first-round picks.
Also participating were former Crimson Tide stars, wide receiver Slade Bolden, and offensive lineman DJ Fluker. Bolden was a member of the Baltimore Ravens last season, while Fluker was a member of the Miami Dolphins this past year.
The Alabama baseball and softball teams began SEC play this past weekend. We'll have those highlights and more coming up next.
How about some noise at the Rhodes House? Sliding in around the tag is Dowling.
Ashley Prangy, and Alabama takes the lead. That's well hit to center. Montana Fouts got her.
Jenna Johnson. Perfectly executed.
She's looking for more. That's gone. Alabama answers right back to grab the lead.
Welcome back to Tide TV This Week. The Alabama baseball and softball teams were in action this past weekend. Softball was at home in Rhodes, but the 24th ranked Crimson Tide baseball team opened SEC play on the road against the 2nd ranked Florida Gators.
Alabama dropped game 1 on Thursday 3-0, and the Tide actually led the 2nd ranked Gators 7-6 going into the bottom of the 9th. But Florida rallied to score 2 for the come-from-behind 8-7 win.
But the Tide came through in the series finale, right?
Certainly did. The Alabama Bats started off hot in the series finale as the Tide jumped out to a 3-0 lead. Then in the second, with the Tide up 3-2, Tommy Seidel sent the pitch over the wall in left field for the homer. That made it 4-2 Bama. Florida scored 1 in the 7th, but Caden Rose answered the following inning with Andrew Pinckney on base. It would be Caden Rose crushing one deep in the air to left field, and that sent all the kids in Gainesville scattering for the souvenir. Rose with a 2-run shot made it 6-3 Crimson Tide. Grayson Hitt picked up the win, allowing just 2 runs in 5 2/3 innings of work. Cade Woods got the save as he struck out 7 of the final 8 batters he faced as the Crimson Tide defeated the number 2 ranked team in the country in Game 3, 6-3.
Alabama took on UAB at the Joe on Tuesday night. The Blazers jumped out to a 1-0 lead in the first, and it remained that way until the 4th. The Tide scored in 4 of the final 5 innings. Up 4-1 in the 6th, Drew Williamson sent that one over the wall in right field, scoring 3. Williamson's home run made it 7-1 Crimson Tide. Then, in the 8th, up 11-2, Jim Jarvis singled up the middle for the game winner as the Tide run-ruled the Blazers 12-2 in 8 innings. Jacob McNary picked up the win for Alabama as the win improved the Tide's record to 18-4 on the season. This weekend, the 25th ranked Crimson Tide will host the 22nd ranked Kentucky Wildcats for a 3-game series.
The 13th ranked Crimson Tide softball team opened SEC play this past weekend as well. Patrick Murphy's squad hosted 9th ranked Arkansas for a 3-game series this past weekend.
In Game 1 on Saturday, Montana Fouts shut down the Razorback offense, allowing just 2 hits across 7 innings while striking out 8. Jenna Johnson was a perfect 3-for-3 on the night, and after Jordan Stevens scored on a pass ball for the first run in the game in the second, Johnson singled to short, scoring Bailey Dowling to lead Alabama to a 2-0 shutout win over 9th-ranked Arkansas in Game 1. Unfortunately, Alabama dropped the final 2-game series. The Tide dropped Game 2, 5-3, and went 10 innings in Game 3, but the Razorbacks pulled out the win, 2-1.
On Wednesday night, Alabama was back in action as the Crimson Tide hosted UAB for a midweek matchup. After a slow weekend against the Razorbacks, the offense came to life early against the Blazers. Callie Hevlin started the scoring in the first with a blast to right center. The Crimson Tide would score 12 runs on the night. Alex Salter was equally dominant in the circle as she had a perfect game going into the 5th, but needing just 2 more outs, the Blazers did pick up a base hit. Salter would finish the night with a complete game 5-inning shutout as Alabama run-ruled UAB 12-0 in 5.
So that win over the Blazers improved the Tide's record to 22-9 on the season. And this weekend, Alabama travels to Knoxville to take on the 3rd-ranked Tennessee Lady Vols for a 3-game series.
The 20th-ranked Alabama men's golf team came away with a big win this past weekend. The men took first place in the Linger Longer Invitational in Eatonton, Georgia, defeating 6 ranked teams in the 16-team event, including number 1 ranked Vanderbilt and 11th ranked Georgia Tech. Crimson Tide finished 8 strokes better than the Yellow Jackets and 14 strokes better than the number 1 ranked Commodores. Freshman Nick Dunlap won medalist honors with a 10 under par 206 total. Also finishing in the top 10 was J.P. Cave at 6th place with a score of 3 under par, and Thomas Ponder tied for 8th at 1 under par. Don't go anywhere. We'll have our players and plays of the week coming up in just 90 seconds.
Swings at the first pitch, a shot to left, did she get it home? What a catch by Jenna Johnson over the fence.
You would think. 0-1, deep to left, it's gone! Tommy Seidel goes yard. 3-2, fly ball, hit well, deep to left. She caught her back, turns around, watches this baby go! Swing and a miss, flew him away with a fastball. Strike 3, Crimson Tide win.
It's Gabby Gladio just opening up on vault for Alabama.
Tide TV this week. Those were our plays of the week brought to you by ATI. Now let's take a look at our players of the week brought to you by Legacy of Hope. Brittany Davis tied the Alabama women's basketball NCAA tournament scoring record with 33 points in the Tide's first round matchup with Baylor. Davis also recorded a new career high with 7 3-pointers in her final game for Alabama.
Freshman Gabby Gladio led the Crimson Tide to a second-place finish at the SEC Championships. Gladio won her first event title of the season as she finished in a 4-way tie for the SEC title on vault with a 9.95.
Kenzie McMahon won the 500 and 1,650 freestyle titles at the Women's NCAA Swimming and Diving Championships. McMahon became the first in program history to win multiple NCAA titles. She also earned All-American honors in all 5 years she competed for the Crimson Tide.
She's also got a pretty cool name, so there's that. Nick Dunlap finished first overall at the Linger Longer Invitational this past week. Dunlap won medalist honors as he finished 10 under par. Dunlap's performance helped the men's golf team secure their second tournament win of the season. Dunlap was also named the SEC Men's Golf Freshman of the Week.
And congratulations to the University of Alabama Adapted Athletics men's and women's basketball teams. The Alabama women's wheelchair basketball team won the national championship for the third year in a row. Alabama defeated UT Arlington 88-41 for the national title.
Quite the dynasty they've got cooking over there, and congratulations to the Alabama men's wheelchair basketball team as they won their second national championship since 2019. They defeated Arizona 73-68 for the national championship. And congratulations to Austin Smith. He's one of our student workers and a member of the men's wheelchair basketball national championship team. Congratulations to Austin. We love and appreciate you and the men's and women's team. Roger, Alabama really is a championship school.
Yeah, great honor. Congratulations on the national championships. We hope that's a theme moving forward for the rest of the year on this show.
I would like it if we keep that same energy, huh?
Well, roll Tide to that. We hope you enjoyed it. We look forward to seeing you back here next week for another edition of Tide TV This Week.
See you guys next week. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
This has been a presentation from Learfield,